if you want visitors to come to your country, if there are illegal immigrants even being sent out of America, and President Mahama asks them to bring them to Ghana when these are Nigerians, and so on and so forth, excuse my language, common sense tells us, and Mahama should know. Mahama is a communications expert. He's an international career diplomat. He knows these things, that if you are throwing confetti by asking everybody to come, the number one thing that should be working is regulation of your systems.
Obreo, enikunzu ompa, batebe yejuma. Sa afofo ya abaga no mu stresses. Ene se me ko bebi a medula pass, no mu go mu twa mu hia na mche omo kwens. What I say? Just be go be fe bia sa, illegal immigrants everywhere. Now when I Ghana for be a discussion on there to just say illegal immigrants na be Ghana. The effect is it is driving away investors so. Because investor be any person or do the sika be kwa kwhye bibi mo obeboka. Debi me for that meti. Me fam sika kwhye bibi mu knowing very well say me boka. Debi own profits. We did here for 7 Ghana TV now and 7 Ghana TV. Social media platforms ni aso me obi. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X, my bre papa. Many but me no bet twetwe nkomo. Esan se mpese mu de ekoso. Ani. Baby I me was 7 Ghana TV di na me so but social media bomode eni dim ni ahobrɛse mu a. Mpacho wo de subscribe na me wate. Wo subscribe and notification bell mpacho click so ma me. Ehia me pa. Ani ehia me pa. Na me to aso a. Sa nkofo ma begu krum ha mudu circle wo go overhead na se. Baby abefe bia wo de me bonito akra isi o makwa go use lego na dwega no nyina ho. Wo mu gugu sa nti obi o jobless obi onye documented and the Ghana be documented what was on man message identity kwan wana omu fisa Sahel side ni na eba what I say and this they are so vulnerable and just a bibi kitu because you can easily influence them. Now when a Ghana for because say the cautions and minister so want to engage man I need them now but more on twene na de obeti engage man man fa nbra this say I say bibi hanko so I want to rough obia Ghana because social media bomodi na share me na o subscribe wo hwenya na wo subscribe mami na notification bell na wo click so mami ani o say ene nwanwa say ikofo we ewa na say swati ewa na asaba ewa na swati ewa na asaba there was a time yes obechi bi lamte round about ho yes sa o na de o ko say Niger o say Mali o say de hu ya so na asa be gugu ma I say ye big time business o ko fa nkofo de ba o mo say scan o mo garden de ono no one percentage a oji what's going on the Ghana for bebre ka say eni dem na humbrase mu is that President Mahama de na sifo na de ekoso ne de anya sa investor bi eni ha mu a oh mo beba say odin sika e bia million 10 million 20 billion or ba be investment to Ghana and almost ban on be investment no am a edwuma ba kro ni si say fancy obi abebie rubber can say factory e wo krom ha mu a na wo fa nipa 5,000 at least nipa bi wo beto aban no effort o make say obeyi obete unemployment so no investor bi aba be pressure no so kakra what I say but here is the case illegal immigrants egube bia omo ne papers omo chese kaswa ashama baby bia before Ghana bia nkofo egu omo and then cause me dey here for 7 Ghana TV but onya be na daje na tin komo ne bi utie komo na mpacho share video ni mama wate tell a friend about 7 Ghana TV. Let's grow this channel together. Minimum yana start here. Once again, the name is Hayford. Bye-bye.
Why am I saying that? Me and all of us Ghana, naturally we have never been xenophobic. We are not xenophobic. But when we all do the comparative analysis, the most immediate drama was what happened in South Africa. Now, initially, I was all up in arms against them until later on when I realized the immediate occurrences in Ghana, the crimes, the malfeasance, the nonsense, the nuisance, and all the rot that is going on. Then I noticed that no, we are beginning, I saw videos about even Nigerians beginning to mock and taunt Ghanaians and even some of these South Africans, people making it look like, you are Father Christmas. Because it seems that there's this cultural thing in Ghana, which is good. The Ojiahoho thing, where we are hospitable, which we all know. Our parents were like that, our grandparents were like that. But it's only, excuse my language, a fool who doesn't change their mind sometimes. Now, let me make a little comparison. If you look at, I've never gone to the US, but I've gone to UK, I've gone to other places. I've gone to even Dubai and other places. Most of those countries who are pitched themselves to bring in visitors regulate what happens. I know you are somewhere in that area. I go to Dubai to realize that even crossing the road, well, I don't know about the old Dubai, but the new Dubai where they are bringing in the tourists, there's a point where you even have to cross the road. Unlike where in Ghana, everybody stands everywhere and they crosses. And that is just one example of order. So if you want to be hospitable, now, if you want to be like what our President Mahama is, and I'm saying it officially, sometimes the problem is that I think one of the panelists who was saying that he will print placards and do we don't want alcohol. I support the two of them in a way. Because if you want visitors to come to your country, if there are illegal immigrants even being sent out of America, and President Mahama asks them to bring them to Ghana when these are Nigerians, and so on and so forth, excuse my language, common sense tells us, and Mahama should know. Mahama is a communications expert. He's an international career diplomat. He knows these things, that if you are throwing confetti by asking everybody to come, the number one thing that should be working is regulation of your systems. Now, secondly, there are many, many problems in Ghana. Start from unemployment, infrastructural issues. Everything is way, way down there. We are not considered. We've not gotten to where we want to get it as a people. Many people are struggling by the day. We see teachers, nurses, young people not working, picketing everywhere. So when you say Nigerians can come, because of course there's unrest in their country. Now the Malians are coming, people from the Sahel regions, already the traditional Togolese, Ivorian, Burkinabe incursions left and right is going on. That one has not really ever been a problem. So I'm sure Ghana, we are not really that bothered. But with the incoming of the Nigerians came the biggest wahala. Why? Because when we talk about a culture is the way of life of the people. So the people in the Nigerian regions, there's a reason why the problems that are happening there are happening. Ghana is not at peace because we are superhuman. It's a lot more, aside the grace of God, which most of us who are people who are godly believe in, a lot more is about the people in Ghana and how we do things. Now, when you allow influx from a problem-prone region where they are loud, they are volatile, they are caustic, they are domineering into your country and they are in the majority, compare the statistic, the number of Ghanaians and Nigerians. They are about 7 or 8 times Ghanaian population. And they are very loud and very domineering. So if you are bringing them to come because your stepmother was from there and you are Oba of whatever title they gave you, and all this is going on, people are complaining. I have joined the demonstration before and all that. All we needed is that just make a statement. Let these foreigners know that, yes, we want you to come, but there's order, there's control. Where there be? Nothing is going on. Everything is becoming a nuisance. These days, every day I have to drive into Accra. I want to drive there as early as I can and leave there like it's more like it's a hell. It's more like a coven. Because you don't even know where to put your leg. Everywhere is flustered with people and a lot of nuisance, rot, rubbish, armed robbery, criminality, killing. Everything is rising. And this is how it goes. So for me, if that thing comes and what Odanka and the other people were saying is on point. And say, we are Ghana. Before we realize, we'll turn into Pakistan and all those places where they were more or less a peaceful Christian country. Now they became an Islamic, whatever. I'm not saying Islam is wrong. It's their choice. But if these things will come with violence like we are seeing by the day, we just saw recently bank robbery and it's Nigerians. Kidnapping is Nigerians. Cybercrime. Adding. Ghanaians are not all angels, but these things are all going on and we are watching. So many of us, I'm sure by now, we are mentally prepared. Just that Ghanaians are a bit slow to pick up these things. But what they are saying, as if they are just saying it, but that is the truth. If we don't look for a third party somewhere, and I'm not talking about a third party as in an existing party. I was talking about this on another live, that we should get to a point where even when it comes to the parliamentarianship, in the other new faces should arise. Why? Because now we've trusted MPP for some time. Since we got into the Fourth Republic, MPP has had about 2 or 3 runs. Like what they've almost had the same tenure and they've all done the same thing. If you know me, if you check my posting and commentary on every WhatsApp or TikTok blog, that's what I say, that rubbish to NDC, rubbish to MPP. They are all not helping us. They are doing the same thing. This Igbo King issue, when it started, we saw the Igbo King allegedly in pictures with Akufo-Addo. We saw him in pictures with Mahama. So for me, it's not about NPP or NDC. The two parties have patronized us enough, and they do not care. It's as simple as ABC. You just check the records. As soon as they come to power, the only thing that seems to go on very well and quickly is how they quickly buy their new Land Cruiser Prado. Of course, Sebi, we all drive our cars. So when you talk, some of them talk the rubbish that will be anybody wrong. We all live in our comfortable houses and our ambiances. But the question is that I am not a public officer. My salary does not come from the car I bought, the house I have built, and the things I have came from God's blessings and my own hard work and maybe my inheritance from my family. Many public worker. Likewise, most of you. But these guys in MPP, we know them. We went to schools with them. We've lived in communities with some of them are from our hometowns. And we knew where they came from scratch. On buy and almost immediately, they buy their Land Cruiser Prado, maybe their Nissan, whatever, Pajero, whatever. Then they are looking for a house in a gorgeous environment, airport hills, whatever. Then they are there. They build glass houses around them with tall buildings and security around them. Who names so many angel and uncle from, but you have security all around your houses. So frankly speaking, the politicians, NPP then and now NDC, they are not putting Ghanaians our interests right. But we know and we know and we know about 96% of them, their children don't even stay in the country. If they go to schools in Ghana, they don't go to public schools. We know. And once they are done, even the most idiotic, Akolani school now, they ship the person to the next available, whether UK, US, some of them are in Dubai, some of them we know them personally. So frankly, all the Ghanaian is asking for is that at least regulate our space, buy your cars, build your house, but the peace you came and met that Ghanaians are managing small, let it remain so. Now the Nigerians are struggling over Ghanaians over retail business, which we all know per the constitution of Ghana and our economic systems is supposed to be the preserve of Ghanaians. Now, if the Ghanaians are coming, the Nigerians are coming in plenty, Malians are coming in plenty, even if they came in as legal immigrants, my brothers, what work is there for them to come and do? So they would naturally begin to haggle into the same unavailable business spaces, the same spaces that you are breaking down every day with vigor, that you are creating a 24-hour market system. What kind of a thing is this? So for me, I'm just quiet because I don't know where the third party will come from. But I'm just praying that some other group should emerge, because enough of the two parties. It's enough.
Yeah, Kwara, I think, no, hold on. Nuno said Akufo-Addo was never in picture with the Igbo King. So he said Kufuor, like, yeah, it was Kufuor, not Akufo-Addo. Yeah, me,
Yes.
okay.
So okay, that's why I wanted to have the parties. So
Okay.
the leaders of these parties have seen. And the funny thing is that it's one of the few things all of you can check with all respect. Check the records, check the facts, it's there. Even check the hands and whatever. That's only one thing that is happening under NDC, and MPP have never made an official comment about it. Never, not once.
Yeah, so Kwara, you are for send them back instead of let them stay, right?
Yes, because now we are struggling. We are not comfortable. We don't have the things that people will come in to come and do. The employment, the comfort. The Ghanaians were struggling already. And obviously, I'll just end soon. Obviously, they've not created new jobs. We all know. All the things that Basintalian, the nonsense and the rubbish they are talking, that we are cleaning them, we are lambasting them, and we will continue. Because the thing is that, and apart from continuing, one thing I'm appealing to your page host and other people, I told Tumtum Network, I'm friend to some of them, to that we should move from just the talk sessions, or should I call the live sessions, to beginning to do strategic connections, maybe create pages and now send personal. It should not be necessarily demonstration, delegations, immigration on board, so the delegations, peaceful, decent, with letters. I mean, there's a democracy. Because according to they know most of the things are just people are doing live everywhere. But if you finish the live and nothing happens, nothing happens.
Yeah, Quara, the problem is we are divided now. After the Igbo must go or the Nigeria must go protest, now there is a division, right? But we will talk. We will talk. Anyway, let's
Thank you.
go to
Yeah,
this
Kwara.
is Ghana issue. South Africa, what do you want here? What what's
No,
going
no, 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 no. My brother, this platform, I
Mafekela.
think,
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
you let's hear
thank
you.
you. Thank you, my brother. I think this platform is not just that you said Ghana or only Ghana must comment on these issues. The whole Africa, we see the panel and then we like what we talking about, you talking about, you want us to discuss about it. We have to enter and then we have to engage. I'm fully behind Kwara, what he's saying.
Thank
Each
you.
and every country must be follow on its laws. You can't allow foreigners to come in your country and then to grab whatever they like, and then after that, if you telling them to stop what they're doing, and then you've been called xenophobic. As South African, we've been labeled by name of xenophobic. If you going each and every lives, most of lives here on platform media, you find out that agenda has been pushed by Nigerians. I'm not biased about that. I'm not, I don't know Ghana, I don't know Nigeria, but what I'm telling you is truth.
It's the
Most
truth,
of,
my brother. We know. It's obvious. We know.
It's the truth.
so,
We two push the same agenda here. I did
yeah,
some.
yeah, and then let me tell you something. Our politicians, they poison our minds that if you doing something, if you doing something for your country, if if they don't want this thing to be done, they put big names and then they put that you will be arrested. Let me tell you something. You see our politician, they are against us South Africans because they got minds in other African countries. So African leaders, they don't work for their people. They're working for European people and then also South African. Right now, we have a problem of Cape Town here. Cape Town soon will become Israel. But they don't want to address that. Even though we put Israel in international court, but let me tell you something. Israel are here in South Africa. They are staying in Cape Town. And then if you want to stay in Cape Town, you must have big matcha. You can't find a nice apartment that is less than 10,000 in Cape Town if you want to rent and stay. And if you ask brothers who are working in Cape Town, I'm talking about the police, they're telling you that, okay, I'm working in this place in Cape Town. Let me tell you something. Only white foreigners who are staying there, mostly of them are from Israel. But at the same time, South Africa is fighting with Israel. But you can't hear even one politician addressing community about that, addressing South African about that. I'm telling you guys, if we don't engage to our government, if we don't engage to our president, we our country will be gone. I just found out recently that South Africa, if you can check, they said we have gold, we have lots of mineral resources here in South Africa. But let me tell you something, they are not owned by South Africans. Big companies, they are not owned by South Africans. I'm not ashamed about that, but I'm telling you what is happening. You see your government, what it done to chase away I think it's a South African mine, or they said it a South African mine. That mine was not belong to South Africa. I'm fully behind your government to put that mine under the people of Ghanaians. But what and another thing that I have to address as a South African here. We hate what is happening. If you can follow what is happening, what our Nigerian brothers are doing here in South Africa, it's totally wrong. What I can say, I feel so bad about what's gonna happen in the years comes in Ghana, because they are your neighbors. Once you fight them, they will definitely send Boko Haram people who will do whatever they like, and then after that they can escape by going back to Nigeria, because I think Nigerian government is working with Boko Haram. I was seeing another video recently where police, they were doing roadblock, but after that, while they're doing a roadblock, I think bandits or Boko Haram, they were passing with rifle, and then police, they were saluting them. But you don't see our brothers from Nigeria and then posting about it. Ask other African brothers to talk about it, And then on yesterday, there were
Okay, wrap up.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to finish. Yesterday, there were 25 people who were unalived in Nigeria, but you're not gonna see them about talking about it. They only talk about Chidema. Chidema is fighting to be a South African. I rest my case, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you. As for Ghana, they want to turn Ghana into Nigeria. As for that one, we know. Quara, you want to say something before I move to mindsets?
Yeah, the thing is, what is it Mafi? I'm not good at pronouncing South African names, but the gentleman who just spoke.
Mafikela.
Yeah,
Mafikela.
Mafkela. Thank you. And what he said is true, absolutely. Because let me just add to it. A similar thing is happening in Ghana, so that we have neighbors who have come into the country, and everybody these days all over the world, even Dubai, which is a tourist destination, give exceptions and restrictions to countries, and Nigeria was high on the list. I mean, can Nigerians alone be wise for every other person to be an idiot? Hell no. And it's happening in the UK. I know well about the UK. I hear the US, we all know, to the point where even Trump wanted to send out Nigerians. At the point, some of them were received by Mahama in Ghana. The question is, he received them for what reason? We are asking. Why? Is Ghana heaven? Is Ghana paradise? These guys were Nigerians. About 99% of them were Nigerians. But Tinubu did not accept them. Mahama accepted them. So like what he's saying is that most of our politicians, and I'm saying it on the records, are not there for the Ghanaian or are not there for the South African. It's becoming obvious. You know, is it Bob Marley who said that you can fool all the people all the time, some of the time, but you cannot fool all the people all of the time. And it will take time. People will begin to realize. Maybe initially we thought, oh, it's diplomacy, it's international relations, or under the UN convention. But with time, you realize that no, successive administrations are taking this for a ride. So that the ordinary Ghanaian, the ordinary South African is getting poorer. You check the records. I mean, in Ghana, I'm not afraid to say, the richest and the wealthiest and the company owners are the politicians. Either NDC groups and the NPP groups. These days, if you check the Ghanaian media, I don't know much about South African politicians, but see the money, the stealing, the embezzlement that has been talked about. And the NPP did it. NDC now.
And they found out that you are wealthy. Hey, my brother, you going down.
Here, I think, host, one thing that it's not exactly the same thing, but recently there's this thing whereby when you speak against the government, then they pick you up, even on social media, even on TikTok. And the question is that governments are there out of democracy. You are there to work for the people. The question is, if they are working for the people, why don't they want the people to speak? You are taking your salary, you are taking your allowances, you are managing the economy the way you want. Nobody is talking about it. But if we who put you there to run our system for us think there's something wrong, you take it and you want to undermine it. So third parties must emerge, not necessarily an organized third party, but whether I am praying that even the next election in Ghana, for instance, individuals, new faces, I've said it in many places, should begin to emerge, because now we all know, even a child knows that many of those who have been there over the years, now they are there for their money. That's the truth. So those beggars, they amen.
You should
They should
send
be
them
sent away.
back.
They should go.
But
I mean,
Kwara, there are some Ghanaians also saying that we shouldn't send them back because they are brothers and sisters.
so probably, you know what? Thank you. If the government knows what it's supposed to do, at a point, either there must be a referendum. That's why they should organize. In some countries, they do public hearings about these things, because if it's really not hypocrisy and it's a democracy, then the people's voices must be. We should do a proper. Should we do maybe opinion poll, whatever? We cannot just. It's because they want to play. You know what? Even in parliament.
The problem is they are cowards. It's not that they don't have the country at heart.
Oh, the cowardice is there. I'm coming. The cowardice is there. But
like
you know what? It's
like
not only.
Nanado did a lot of infrastructure for Ghana, but he's coward. He was. I always tell people the man was coward. He had opportunity to change many things. You know, after they had the Ghana card, what is the purpose of that? It's up to you. Just data the people properly, and then you bring some laws. Your embassies, those who are holding Ghana passport, when they came there to renew, because every passport gets expire. And I know a lot of Nigerians here, they go to our embassies in Berlin to pay money to renew their passport. Meanwhile, they know exactly that they are not Ghanaians, and they should question them. How did they hold the passport?
Good. So thank you. So let me just add a little to it. I think I'll take that, but I'll add another thing. They may be coward, but in my opinion, I think it's about what Mafike said. Many African leaders are working for external factors.
Yeah,
they are working with other foreign elements.
They want people to praise them, outside Ghana.
Yes, because there have been issues. There have been issues that even at the UN, which is the highest body for international congregation, Akufo-Addo spoke confidently. There are issues that he did not agree on this LGBTQ. He spoke his mind brilliantly, like Muhammad spoke about against slavery and these issues boldly. So in a way, it's not completely cowardice. It is, the cowardice may be there in a way, but a lot of it is they are doing is politics. It's like there's this kind of cabal, this kind of yes, that's what is going on.
And so we don't have to depend on them. We have to find our ways. We have to find our ways. We the youth have to unite. You know, at least when we wake up, you're going to get some millionaires in the country. Some are going to support us with money. This is it. In every society, you have people whom they are afraid to come out. But the moment we come out and we started, together and campaigning, we will get people support.
By all means, because let me give you an example.
The people are trying to invade the country, and we have to stand for our country, and we have to stand against these politicians. You know,
it's a work because
the only thing they are doing is they are making themselves richer. They don't think about the poor. You know,
I think
you think if they think about the poor, these two parties, they are so idiot that you'll be going to the my area, my constituency, my mom's district, which is so poor, and you'll be going there. The guys are doing galamsey, and you think they are doing galamsey for nothing's sake because they want to earn money to eat, to put their children in the school. So you
and even now, the galamsey you mentioned there, the galamsey you mentioned. When MPP was in power,
let me finish. You cannot just go there with the military and spend millions of dollars. No, instead of you sharing these millions of dollars to the community, those who are data them, you have to data those people who are doing this thing. The money that you're giving to the military, they are receiving their salary already, and you're going to spend millions of dollars, $500 million on them for 4 years to fight Garamsey, and they go there and took bribe again from these people. So instead of you create a proper social welfare system within these communities and give them their welfare. But they don't have the knowledge, and they say they are politicians. So we have to, we have to stand against them to tell them that this is not the way to govern a country. This is not the way. We don't govern a country depend on just infrastructure. What is the people going to eat infrastructure? No. First of all, you build the people, give them education, give them health, and they use the people to build the infrastructure. But you just spend billions of dollars every year that they are building infrastructure, cutting salt, building market. It's unnecessary. It's waste of it's a waste of resources for me. They're behaving like childish. Because a German schoolboy will be looking at what they are doing, sir. What are they doing? You just go and cutting salt, building market you can give to private people to do it, and spend the money to create jobs. But they won't listen, so we have to find another means. Either the third party, they're going to take our concept that, hey, guy, we want to join your party, but we want the leader to accept that we empower our economy. If so, then we're going to join any of the third party because they are already on top, they are already there, so we can join them. And then they're going to take our initiative that, hey, guy, we want to join you people, but this is our role, and this is what we want. If they accept, then we join them. Whoever, Sada or Kennedy or anybody, third party, yeah, that guys, we empower our economy. We're going to vote for you people if you accept. We're going to campaign hard for you. You get more parliamentarians who has the same knowledge, in the same ideology as we think. We got them. And then you push the agenda forward. Otherwise, these people here, now forget it. They only nine Kasafo no go. Yeah, only nine Kasafo, believe me. They cannot.
My brother, you see what the problem is. You said you're gonna vote, and then you said you're gonna use power of a pilot. They are corrupt, these people. I'm telling you, they are corrupt. They can even buy those pilot. Right now in South Africa, if you're following, there's something that is happening here. It's Madanga. Hey, my brother, let me tell you something. These people, they can do whatever they like. Yesterday, there was a guy who was explaining what is happening. These people, they can go out and buy a machine that can read what is happening in the country, that can read what do you have, what are you talking about, these people, Baba, they are corrupt. You can't win a country with the pilot. What you have to do, you have to force my point of view, you have to force what you need to be done, and then he or she will come out and then talk about, but continue to do what needs to be done by your community. But if you talk about the pilot or voting, you're not gonna win, my brother. I'm telling you. And then these people, they can talk nice, but they can't do.
Okay.
Yes, thanks.
Hello.
Yes, Farah.
So let me just come in. I was trying to make a little.
You mentioned Nkrumah name, and then the Galamsey. You wanted to touch that.
Yeah, I think all the panelists who have spoken have told a particular line is similar to what I'm saying, and I was trying to connect it to something that Nkrumah said about the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. One of the, I think the one who just spoke, I've not looked at the screen, said something about the fact that people will always be poor, and I'm trying to find practicality in that. And the thing is, and the last speaker also spoke about Galamsey and the impunity. All of that borders on the first thing that host you were saying, that if we are angry enough to decide that that's the way we want to go, we should find a way. But what Mafike said, the problem with the Ghana situation is that, you know, every people have a culture. Now, if you look at South Africa, since the days of Amandla, they have a lot of energy for uprisal, a lot of energy for demonstration. The Ghanaian people are a bit not like that. So to want to mobilize the same energy in South Africa and Ghana, it will take a longer time. I'm sure all the Ghanaians say no. South Africans, because of maybe their history, their political history, the fighting energy is still very, very, very active in them. Ghanaians are a bit laid back because of all the, the political systems and all the
My brother,
cultural
believe
things.
me, they will support, but they are afraid to come out. But the
Yeah,
moment
I'm
somebody take
coming. I'm
that
coming.
initiative,
I'll come to that. But
the support will come.
I'm still trying to address that. But the thing is that there's a saying in Chi that "Sene owonam no sa no," that literally meaning that the way a snake manages to walk is the same way it sleeps. A people's culture is their way of life. So by all means, if we want to get answers, we must look at those things. If all of us say they want us to take a particular action, maybe I am very good at maybe public speaking. Somebody's good at maybe bringing money. Somebody's good at putting the things into maybe a computerized system. So looking at that's what I'm talking about. That if you want to be strategic, we have to look at it that yes, we should do the uprisal like the Mafika is saying, but we cannot do exactly what the South Africans say, because if you do the Chobo Ghanaians, many of them must stand by and watch you. I've joined the Igbo Must Go, one of the demonstration. I was in Accra for a conference. So I said, oh, weekend, let me just drive by the Obra spot and join them. It was just a few of us who were there. Many Ghanaians were talking plenty on social media, but they were not there on the road. So we can do it, but we should find a way. That's what I mean, to suit the Ghanaian population so that we can get them to move. And that is why I've spoken on a few platforms that, yes, the live shows are good. But I'm suggesting to the host, I've suggested it to Tumtum Network and others, that should we begin to collaborate? Like what happened at the police headquarters, for instance. I followed it. I spoke to the blog. I spoke to Tumtum Network, Cyrus. I spoke to, and then eventually they went there. They went there to join other people. And eventually, that is one of the things that forced the politicians to move and use that.
That's be say onya abre any adaje de hwe be video ma me patche so wahwe wi a subscribe mami on all YouTube, on all social media platforms, especially YouTube ya we hwe subscribe mami. Who subscribing so a press notification button so say the next video na beba na wo benye bi and wahwe. 7 Ghana TV no krenkwa me a me de nkomo de brewe be din de Hayford 7 Ghana TV. Be that's be say wo hwe. Bye bye.